I did say that I would let you guys know when we were coming to the end, and yeah, we're just about here. So yeah, tomorrow, Saturday, is when the final bit of TWF footage drops. My documentary. I really do hope you enjoy. I'm not kidding that over 15 years went into this footage, or went into this video here. The video intro, I had an idea in my head for the longest time, but I literally spent all day making that before I was satisfied with it ultimately. The footage from 2008, literally 15 years ago. Honestly, I was ready to scrap it because a lot of it I didn't agree with anymore, and a lot of it I'm really embarrassed that I even had that opinion to begin with. But Damien, to his credit, said, no, it'll make for an interesting piece, just do your take on it now and then come back to it. So I re-recorded a lot of the interview questions and added some of my favorite matches, which was really hard to do because I had a lot of really good ones and ones that I really appreciate. Unfortunately, not all of them made the cut. If you're a wrestler from TWA, TWF, and you didn't make it, please don't take offense to it. It was really difficult for me on my part here. But I'm ultimately really happy with what came together. I'll make the announcement here because you guys may have heard me mention at least once that this is going to be a long video. Originally, keep in mind, this was supposed to be a 4 DVD set, or 4-disc DVD set. So it's going to be just shy of 9 hours. So for that reason, and as much as I'd love to think that you guys are all going to sit down and dedicate what equates to a work shift looking at my stuff, it's just going to drop. So and it's going to have timestamps. So if you guys just want to cut to the interviews, you can go right ahead. But it'll be up there at 10 a.m. on Saturday. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, a lot of work went into it. But at that video's conclusion, that is pretty much it for the stuff. We have uploaded all of it. I remember earlier on Damien joking, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we got big, got popular? And I was like, yeah, I guess it would be great, but it would be like a literal 15 minutes of fame. Because as much as me and Infinity like the tease, the odds are of us getting together and doing one more show are pretty astronomical. So enjoy what we have here. We have, as me and Damien have said multiple times now, we have completed our promise. Anyone who wants to see it, see the old TWF, see themselves from back then, it's up there. However, for me, the job isn't done. I do want to say really first, thank you, Damien, for helping me through this whole process. He was a very instrumental part in it going up as quickly as it did, which took us, 7-8 months, which is not bad. And he was very helpful. The whole BT documentary would not have gotten done if it wasn't for him. And it also would not be in the quality and state that it's in if it wasn't for him nudging me just a little bit here and there to make, you can make it a little better. You can make the pictures fill up the screen. An intro would be great here. So thank you, Damien, for all the help you've given us. Once again, you came through for TWF, and we greatly appreciate it. So the footage itself is up there. As far as what happens to the channel, as far as the footage goes, it's going to be a lot of, we're entering what I'm going to call phase 2. So essentially, we have all the events themselves up, and you may have noticed that I started in the beginning, but the process of going through each event and breaking it up into segments, like Big Time versus Falcon is one segment, and then a promo here. And basically, we're going to break up each match and promo into a segment, and each event is going to have a playlist. The idea is going to make things easier to share. Instead of just giving somebody a 2-hour event, you can just give them the match you thought was cool. And it also has an added benefit as well. Damien was telling me about a visit he did for UFO/The Ranger, where they went to the YouTube channel, and they popped in his playlist, which is just all his matches from the beginning, and they got a really big kick out of it. and I can't help but feel that everyone else wouldn't mind their own playlist of their matches. So that's going to be another part of it. So essentially the next phase is breaking each and every single event up in its matches and promos into its own video, and which will get to a playlist not only for the event but for the wrestlers themselves. So in time, you want to see Iron Claw and all his matches, you'll have a playlist. You really enjoy me, well, you not only have the doc, you'll have a playlist for myself. You can watch Anaconda and his and all the many characters of Damien and their own playlists, and so forth and so forth. As far as a third phase, I am keeping an eye on AI technology. This is going to sound really weird, but you may have noticed that some of the quality of these videos, which are over 20 years old, have declined quite steeply. I would love to restore them. I would love to fix the audio. Fun fact with the Big Time documentary, all the footage from me from 2008, there was banging going on in the background. And it really was distracting from what I was saying in the footage, and to a point where Damien was even telling me to re-record it, which I did not want to do, because all that footage exists on a single VHS tape that's like a little over 2 hours long, and it's with bad takes. So essentially I would be re-recording the entire 2.5 hour video and then shifting through it, and because it's not just the segments, it's also the bad takes of each segment. So I'd have to figure out where the actual take began and end, render that, go back to it, continue onward, and to make each segment its own video. And that's only for the hope that it sounded better. But I did find a feature in my editing software that does focus on speech, and it came out crystal clear. You won't have to worry about the banging or background noise. I did try this on other videos like Snow Brawl, where you can hear the banging. And the good news is it worked, but it worked a little too well. It's sort of a tactical, the feature that I was using was kind of a tactical nuke when it came to talking. Like, I used it, and in the beginning where Big King and Vice President Spinetti are cutting a promo, we come out crystal clear. It's great. However, it destroys all other backgrounds or all other sounds as well. Like, you can't hear the audience. Like when there's a match going on and I'm slamming Grave Tavern's head into essentially the step for the top turnbuckle, you don't hear any impact. So anything involving talking comes out crystal clear, but everything else is destroyed. So I'm going to have to play around with that. AI technology is progressing where it can restore footage and make it look brand new. Unfortunately, it's really expensive, and a lot of my computers aren't powerful enough to render like one match from Snow Brawl. It would have taken up all week with the program I was trying. So I'll be attempting my best there and seeing how it goes. So so that's going to be essentially phase 3 if that ever comes about. There are other ideas that I've got going on as well, like inside the Titan Studios. Damien was really big on other wrestlers from there coming on and reliving and basically going through the interview process to talk about their careers, which I think would be a fun idea. I'm not as positive as many people would like to do it though. I know Sammy D or Sammy Danger or Harley D expressed interest in doing it. I want to let them know that I've heard you, and I'm just working my way through EBW and whatnot to give you a good interview. I'm definitely up for it in the future, but that takes a little bit of time there. But we can see there. I've also had an idea for a show where essentially I would just go back and essentially rewrite the book, I call it, where essentially I would take an angle from TWF's past and rewrite it as I would today, or even maybe something from when I wasn't there and rewrite it on how I would do it. So, but that's an idea, and I wouldn't take too much stock in it right now. It's just something that I got in the back of my head. But for right now, as far as brand new events, as far as new pay-per-views, new content, and that's going to be essentially done for the time being. with the exception of going through the old footage and breaking it up into segments, make it easier to share, as well as get those playlists done. If I do get around to making those, making any actual shows, I'll make an announcement of it on the channel. But the hope is that I'll be able to get a pay-per-view broken up every week. So there will be some additional content coming in each week still, hopefully, but essentially it's a work in progress. So folks, thank you so much for joining us on this journey. There is stuff coming, but essentially it's just some fine tuning here. But anything else that pops up, or any new shows or what have you, keep it locked on the channel and we'll update it as it comes. Till then, and once again, tomorrow, big time, the Matchmaker, the big time Malcolm Fine story that drops tomorrow on Saturday. Please look forward to it. I hope you enjoy. Take care.